everybody. I'm Tom Kiss, the Inland Insider. Welcome to the CIF Southern Section Playoffs. It's the Division III matchup, the #1 seed in this division, Charter Oak hosting Crespi. I'm here with Fred Robledo of the Southern California newspaper group. Fred, Charter Oak has not been tested in a game this season. What kind of a test can we expect from Crespi?
Well, you know, Tom, they've beaten the best in the San Gabriel Valley. You're right. They haven't really gone outside our little circle here and played any big teams. Crespi's 1-9. They play in the Mission League. They play the best of the best. The Mission is one of the probably 3 or 4 best leagues in the Southern Section. So it's interesting. Even though they're 1-9, you know that they've played Bishop Amat, they've played Chaminade, Loyola. They played a lot of great teams. And for Charter Oak, we're going to find out. This division is really going to test them. This isn't like one of those divisions when they won championships a few years ago. This one's going to be tough.
Well, quarterback-wise for Charter Oak, we've got Jalen Palacious. Fred, 1,703 yards, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season, going against Crespi's quarterback, Hamish McClure, who had 220 yards and a touchdown against Almont.
Well, here's what I know about Charter Oak, Tom. They play great defense. I think their defense in Division III can hold up against anybody. Can they score points? I think we've seen their offense stall a few times during the year against teams that, let's face it, aren't as good as they're going to see later down the line in Division III. I do think they get by this game tonight, but you go to the next round and you face maybe a Westlake or you play some of those teams. It's going to get tough, and I think it's going to be important that their offense is going to be able to match some of these teams score for score.
Well, when we talk about that offense and some of those playmakers, obviously we're looking at Jermaine Braddock. He has 707 yards receiving. He also plays defense, 10 touchdowns on the season. Isaiah Hamilton, 632 yards, 9 TDs. How will playing both ways affect these guys in the playoffs, Fred?
I don't think it will, Tommy. I do think in this division there are a lot of players that play both ways. And look, if Charter Oak is going to win a CIF championship in this division, someone like Jermaine Braddock is going to be the player of the year that does it for him. So I expect him to be great on both sides of the ball. I mean, that's what they have him here for. He's the straw that stirs the drink for the Chargers.
Charter Oak 10-0, 5-0 in the Hacienda League. Hosting the first-round playoff game. We'll bring you highlights. We'll bring you interviews right after the game.
Charter Oak, the top seed, trying to get their running game going to set up that passing attack. That means Matt Chavez right up the middle. They work it all the way down to the 1-yard line, and the sweep to Jermaine Braddock. He opens the scoring for the Chargers. 7-0. They would finish the quarter that way. Jalen Palacious sees one-on-one coverage, and Isaiah Hamilton comes down with this. The lead is extended to 14-0. How about some of the Charger defense, who held the Celts scoreless in the first quarter? Sack here forces the punt, and Braddock will catch this at his own 41, and off he goes. Down the right sideline, weaving his way through defenders. He cuts back to the other side of the field before he eventually makes his way into the end zone. 21-0 Chargers at this point. But the Celts quarterback, Hamish McClure, would lead his team down the field to the 2-yard line. He hits Anthony Booker, cutting the lead to 21-7. The Chargers were doing everything right on offense, but they fumble on this play, giving the ball back to the Celts. Then this pass by McClure is tipped, and look who steps into it. That's right, Jermaine Braddock, and he's going to use his speed to get into the end zone. His 3rd touchdown of the night. Then at midfield, Palacios is going to swing this outside to Braddock, and he uses his speed right there to get down to the sideline, outrun the defense. His 4th touchdown of the night. 35-7 Chargers. He ran one in. He returned a punt, scored on an interception, and here on that screen pass, then Palacios once again looking deep to Hamilton over the top. His 2nd long TD reception of the game. 42-7. Chargers in control at this point. Then back to the ground for Charter Oak. Matt Chavez gets a big gain here. We're in the second half now. Then he would finish off this drive with a 1-yard run. The Chargers roll 55-14.
Yeah, we had some rough spots in the first half, but I think everything turned out okay. We always want to come out as healthy as we can. Got scared a little bit there, but we're okay. We'll be all right.
What can you say about Jermaine Braddock? I mean, interception return, a punt return. He runs one in. He has a receiving touchdown. I mean, just an unbelievable night for him.
I don't think there's a better player in the Valley. I mean, what he can do offensively and defensively and on special teams, there's nobody else in the Valley that like him. And everybody that's recruiting him knows that. He's very special, and going to miss him.
Are you lobbying Fred Robledo to vote for Jermaine Braddock?
I don't do any. I don't do that. I just see a lot of players, and I see a lot of film, and I've watched a lot of kids, and I've only been doing this for 50 years, so I think I have a little bit of an insight, and he's the best player that's playing right now.
Well, Jermaine, it was a great way to start the game tonight. You get 4 touchdowns in the first half. What were you seeing when you were getting the ball?
I had a lot of space, and it was just giving me opportunities going one-on-one. I just took advantage of what I could do.
Defensively, you got the pick 6. What did you see when that quarterback threw the ball right up the middle?
Because I was playing off a couple of plays, but I came down being aggressive, and I read the quarterback and picked it off.
Was that kind of different for you guys to see a team that they only ran it 2 times in the first half? They were throwing it every time.
Yeah, because most of the season they've been passing it, and we've been taking advantage of that. But so we didn't see this for a long time, but we took the opportunity and showed what we could do.
Where do you think this team is right now? I mean, how much better can you guys get?
We keep getting better and better. Just practice harder and harder and keep building our team chemistry.
Good luck next week. You needed to stop them, come out in the first. They only allow 14 points, a touchdown at the end. What was your guys' emphasis all during the week when you knew you were going to face Crespi?
It was just pressure, sir. Just get to the quarterback and make him throw the ball real quick.
What were you guys seeing out there? I mean, obviously you guys are in a lot of passing situations. That's all they were doing was throwing all the time. What was the coaches? What were they telling you guys when you're coming in and out each time?
Play for the pass pretty much, yeah.
So when you see a guy like 21 out there and he's so big and it's hard to tackle him and it's hard to play him, what was the strategy against him?
I'll just suck the legs up. If you make if he catches the ball, make the tackle, suck the legs up. Hopefully pass breakup for him.
Okay, so going forward next week, you don't know who the opponent is, but you might have to go out on the road. What are you guys going to have to work on before you get to the next game?
Definitely, we're going to have to get to the quarterback a lot quicker.
We're with quarterback Jalen Palacious. Jalen, you came out, had some long passes. You were going over the top. What were you seeing there with that guy one-on-one out there?
I was seeing that my man was just purely faster than their man, and I trusted in him, and I just gave him a chance to get the ball. So
even on the same one on the screen pass when you threw it wide to Jermaine on the outside and he just outran everybody, how much easy does that make it? You threw the ball 10 yards and it goes for 50.
Yeah, it makes it real easy when you have receivers like that. They're just fast and they can catch the ball. It makes it real easy on me.
What have you been working on, especially in the second half of the season? When you guys got into the league, you guys are beating everybody. What have you been working on here in the second half?
I've been working on mostly timing and kind of just being calm in the pocket, more poise and stuff like that.
Now, it's going to be a little bit different because you guys pretty much have been handling all these teams. You haven't had a close game yet. You guys think that you need that close game? Because, as you get the playoffs, I mean, you'd like to have blowouts all the line, but what is this team? What's the character of this team if you do get into a close game like that?
When we get into a close game, we'll obviously fight back. We're never going to give up as a team. We're kind of a fighting team, and we're always going to work for each other. We're never going to give up on each other. Even if the score is 56-0, we're still never going to give up. We're just going to play as a team.
Well, congratulations and good luck next week. The Charter Oak Chargers, the #1 team in Division III here in the CIF Southern Section Playoffs, defeat Crespi 55-14 tonight. Their opponent in the next round will be either Palos Verdes or Westlake. For Fred Robledo, this is Tom Kiss reporting from Charter Oak High School for the Southern California Newspaper Group.